And welcome in to RedHawk Football Weekly. RedHawks coming off a 45-17 loss on the road at Rutgers on Saturday, and will face UNLV on September 20th, a bye week this week for the RedHawks. As the Runnin' Rebels will come in, it'll be celebrating Champions Weekend as well as Football Alumni Weekend at Yager Stadium on a Saturday afternoon at 3:30. Again, that's February 20th. I'm Steve Baker, the voice of the RedHawks, joined by head football coach Chuck Martin as the RedHawks again suffered that second loss of the season, Coach. And you have to give Rutgers a lot of credit. They had a game plan. They stuck to the plan. Short passing, running game, long drives dominating the clock. Defense didn't have the greatest day, but the offense certainly was a lot better. And really, for a lot of the game, even taking a look at the stats, this was an even game that doesn't show on the scoreboard.
Yeah, no, Rutgers did what Rutgers does. Their game plan is what they do every week. They're very simple. They're very experienced in offense. They execute very well. They're a big physical offense line that's really good in the run and the pass game. I was actually pleased at how we held up in the run game when we were not getting knocked around inside, which I was concerned going in. There's times we got high and nosy and we got knocked around pretty good, and that's part of the learning experience for some new guys up front. But overall, we hung up at the line of scrimmage. We didn't get dominated like I'm sure they were trying to dominate us. Obviously, pass game, they executed their pass game really well. They're really efficient. They always think and dunk the ball around, stay ahead of the chains. They do a really good job with that. They had talented receivers. We didn't play good enough technique. We weren't competitive enough. We were too soft at times, but we didn't get a pass rush. We didn't bat any balls down. So their pass game was pretty dominant the whole day, whatever they tried to do in the pass game. Offensively, obviously, we were not good week one in any area, so to say you're better. But we did some really nice things. We averaged over 8 yards per play against a Big Ten team. Again, the secret, even though we gave up, we only forced one punt and we moved the ball, and yardage was very similar for the game. We averaged more yards per play. They ran more plays. The key sequence is we're down 10-7. It feels like a really winnable game at that point, which it was. We drive down. Our offense has a lot of good things going for them. We get 2 penalties on one play, which again, on the 10-yard line, we can't do that. That's on us. That's not on them. That's on us. And then we misread a coverage and throw a pick, and they return it down our territory, and then we let them punch it in. And what should have been 10-10 or 14-10 Miami is 17-7. Yeah. They extend it to 24-7. Our offense puts together a really nice drive before the half with not much time left. Right. And then Dom does what Dom does, comes out and bangs a 40-yard field goal, which at that point I felt like this is an even game. The score is 24-7, but we can play with Rutgers. We know we can. We get to 24-10. We got the stop in the score right away to get to 24-17. We're halfway through the third quarter. We're on the road. We're 24-17. We feel like we've handed them a 14-point swing. Right. And so it was a very competitive game. It ends up, they score late and it ends up 45-17, but it was a very competitive game. And just like a week ago against Wisconsin, different type of game, but we're in it. We're disappointed we don't win. We're disappointed we're not beating Big Ten teams. Now, we're not playing good enough yet to do that. It's not... There's no excuses. We have to keep learning and getting better, and our consistency is not there at any position. It showed up more on defense week 2, more on offense week 1, but our offense wasn't consistent enough week 1. Our defense was, or week 2, and our offense wasn't even consistent enough against Wisconsin. So we have a lot to go, but we know we've been in these battles and we can play at these teams and we can win these games.
And again, signs of a young team for the most part, inexperienced team maybe, but as you learn, and to me, you'd love to win these games, obviously, but it is a learning experience for these guys as you get ready for the Mid-American Conference in a month or so. That you have to go week to week and learn from your experiences and get better, and certainly that showed in the offense this week. And now the defense has a couple of weeks to learn to get ready for a really talented UNLV team.
Yeah, and our offense we made a lot of big plays against Rutgers, which was huge that you executed, because making big plays is part of having a good offense. But there's still too much lack of execution on a lot of the other plays that we have to. But we were way better. Obviously, we executed way better on offense. We got way better results. Defense, we didn't execute as good, and we didn't get as good results. So we have to, but again, like I told the team yesterday, we're not going to be experienced. Like, we can use that excuse the whole year.
Right.
That this is, at some point, so we have to learn our lessons quicker than later if
Yeah.
you want to win games. So, and again, then you got UNLV coming in who's, again, they got more 4- and 5-star high school recruits than Wisconsin and Rutgers combined on the roster. So they just whooped UCLA. And so it's a different athleticism that we're going to go up against this week. Different styles, but again, great test. You got to keep getting better or you're getting worse. So our kids are excited. We're in a good place. We got 2 weeks of practice to try to clean up as many mistakes we can and be more consistent on a down-to-down basis, and then go in front of a huge home crowd and play a great game against UNLV and try to find a way to win a game.
Yeah, the old adage is you're not a freshman anymore. You've already played a couple of games.
Right.
This game would start off, and Miami would go 3 and out on their first possession, while Rutgers followed with a long scoring drive and scored to take a 7-0 lead. The RedHawks, on their next possession, as we go to the highlights, would get the offense indeed moving, and moving in a pretty big hurry, as a matter of fact. 1st and 10 from the 25. Daquan Finn completes a pass to Cam Perry for the first completion of the game.
Yeah. Good read, good throw, and good job by Cam getting vertical, good protection, good timing on the route. He's coming out to cut the balls there. Looked way different than it looked the week before. We ran a very similar route, and timing was not there. So good start. We get a good first down, and then make a big chunk play. Get a nice double move. Really beautiful route by Cam. Great protection, good ball fake. Good run after the catch, great throw, and now you're down inside the 1-yard line in 2 plays.
Yeah, basically a couple of plays, and you're inside the 1. And then Deshaunte Jones, you'll see the replay here as the double move by Cam just blew by the corner and down the field and did a nice job of running after the catch. The defender slows him down just enough to keep him out of the end zone, and then Deshaunte Jones powers into the end zone.
Yeah, really good push on the right side. Whenever you can knock the D lineman into the end zone, you're going to probably score. So you're going to see right there, you got white jerseys pushing through to the end zone, and really good job and a great job by Deshaunte.
Rutgers again goes right down the field. They're inside the 10-yard line here, but they will be forced into a punt. Jackson Kuwach, who had a great game for Miami, got in there and sacks Kalikamakis.
Yeah, really good game by Kuwach, really good game by Cy Walters. And again, huge 3rd down stop, forces a field goal here. Unfortunately, the first drive we had 3rd and 13 and gave a touchdown there. It's kind of a precursor to the whole game, was opportunities to get off the field and they just couldn't do it on defense. But here was a great 3rd down stop, a great blitz, and Kuwach makes a huge play.
Redhawks start their next drive on the 25, down 10-7. Things are looking good for the Redhawks. Pass complete on the right side to Cam Perry once again.
Yeah, really nice job. Good job by Daquan stepping up in the pocket. Good pocket, but he had to step up and then threw the ball away from the defense, and Cam makes a great catch. So really nice throwing catch there.
And
there's a third look at it. And again, really good coverage by the guy in Rutgers. Put the ball about the only place you could do it to be complete, and then Cam extends and makes a great play on it.
And then 1st and 10 from the Miami 39-yard line, and Daquan Finn shows his legs.
All right, really good read on the zone read, and then great job punching north and south, and great job using his speed and his size, and huge chunk play. And again, good execution up front. We're not getting dented. Same play at Wisconsin, we're getting dented and there's no read. We get a nice clean read. He reads it right, and he turns the corner and makes a huge chunk run for us.
2nd and 7 upcoming here at the Rutgers 19-yard line, and Daquan Finn would again rush the football and just come shy of the first down.
Yeah, good job here. They defended the routes well. Daquan uses his legs and gets a first down inside, just inside. It's right about the 10-yard line, but just hair inside the 10-yard line. But good job, good decision. Everybody's covered, tucks it, gets it out of dodge, gets us a first down, and gets out of bounds.
In the red zone, a pass interference call and another penalty sets Miami back to the 25-yard line, and then disaster strikes.
Yeah, just, again, the one play we'd like to have back, Daquan played a heck of a game. This one just didn't read the coverage. They changed up the coverage, and they trapped us and didn't see the corner, and we threw it to him, and he makes a huge play.
Daquan has to get a lot of credit for not giving up and going down and making the tackle on that play. I thought he did a great job.
And then a lesson for all young guys, like it didn't flinch. He's played a lot of football, so he just went back to playing good football. He didn't let one. We all make mistakes. Here he makes a great play, extends the play, scrambles to right, throws a dart. Cam comes back to the ball. We're down 24-7. We got to get a field goal here to get it to 2 scores before the half. We got to go the length of the field to do it. Again, Daquan keeping a play alive, and turning a negative play into a positive play, which we know he can do. So this is a great lesson for all our younger guys that don't always get past the mistake. This is a very next drive. Like he's just going back to playing his game and making plays. And again, another scramble here, another first down, and again, didn't even flinch after his mistake. And again, huge, and we'd expect that from him because he's had tons of success. So we got the field goal and got down in field goal range. Here he is, Kenny Tracy. We keep plodding around. We keep getting closer and closer. We actually had a chance for a touchdown. We got down there and had our one shot, which 7 would have been fantastic, but we're getting it to 2 scores, and we just misfired on the goal ball, and then Dom comes in and does what Dom does. And to me, it's like very disappointing. Halftime is 24-10 because we easily could have went up 14-10, and then we have this drive. Maybe it's 17-17, whatever it is. But again, we hand them. Again, not we hand them. They executed what they did. We didn't execute what I did. So credit to Rutgers. But there's a 14-point swing, or at least a 10-point swing right there when we're down in the red zone getting ready to score points. So felt good on how we were playing. Even defensively, the third downs were an issue. We had a 3rd and 13 on the first touchdown drive. On the next drive was short, but we still got them a third. Like we were getting it. It wasn't 3rd and 2, and they were just running the ball. It was 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. It was almost always passes. We weren't good in zone. We weren't good in man. We weren't good in pressure. And again, what was the matter with the pass defense? Everything. It's a group thing. But I felt like, okay, guys, I know we can stop them, and I know we should have more than 10 on the board. We were down in there for points, and we've handed them 7. We've taken points off. Let's get a stop. They got it first. Let's get a stop and get a score and get 24-17, and we're right back. We're right back in it. We really should be ahead at that point.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Rutgers wound up 70% on 3rd down, and we talk about that all the time. And I know how you feel about that because this team, over the years, has been an excellent 3rd down team, and it just shows how important it is to try and get off the field. I also thought you made a great point about Daquan coming back after the interception. Not only did he not hang his head when he threw it, he ran down the field, was the only guy that could have made the tackle, but came right back and took you down the field. You took over on that last drive with 1:20 to go in the half, down at your 25-yard line, and still get the field goal. There's a 2-minute offense that only took a minute 19 to get down there, and I think that's an incredible testimony to his leadership and also the way your offense had played as well. 24-17 at the half, and we will come back, talk about the second half, and then take a look ahead to the next couple of weeks of Miami football. Again, they'll face UNLV on the 20th at Yager Stadium. We'll be back in a moment on RedHawk Football Weekly.
Water bottles piling up, Soppy? Before recycling, please empty, crush, and put the cap back on.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
And welcome back to RedHawk Football Weekly. Steve Baker along here with you, recapping the 45-17 loss to Rutgers in Piscataway, New Jersey on Saturday. Head coach Chuck Martin is with us here. And Coach, we talked about 3rd down. They were 7 of 10. The RedHawks only 3 of 8. And again, talking about the 3rd down and how important that is. I do want to talk, the defense didn't have a great effort, but, we saw in those first half highlights, Jackson Kuwatch come up with a big sack. He wound up with 11 tackles. Eli Blakey had 10. Caleb Martin, Silas Walters, had good days. And, the effort was there, but as you were talking about in your press conference, the consistency is something you're looking for, consistency and effort and teamwork, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we played hard on defense. Mm-hmm. Rutgers does what they do, and they're really good at it. They're really good at it a year ago. They have all the guys back. They're really good at what they do, and they're big and physical up front. That's a really, really, really gifted offensive line that's well coached and plays really hard. Even the first half, I came at halftime, thought we can stop them, guys. We're just they're executing their offense 3 snaps in a row. We're not executing. If we can execute our defense 3 snaps in a row, we're not giving up big plays. They're slowly bleeding us to death, and we have to be better on third down. We're getting to third down. We have to be better on third down. That's all I talk about. Like, let's get a third. And we had opportunities. Like, and it just, they out-execute us. And it wasn't, again, it wasn't a disaster on defense. We didn't give up an incredible amount of yards per play. They only had 5-point-something yards per play, which is not, but they, in third down and key situation, they executed, we didn't. And they physically got after them, we didn't. So it was how they play, how we know they're going to play. They're going to be slow and methodical, and they drive the ball, and they, but guys played good. And again, even our guys that didn't play as well had a lot of good plays. They just, again, we weren't as consistent on that side of the ball as we need to be to get off the field against a quality offense like Rutgers.
Yeah, Rutgers 24-10 leaders at the half, and they would get the ball. They won the toss, and they would get the ball to the second half, and then the defense steps up and makes some plays on that first drive.
Yeah, we had one third down that we could have got off the field. We didn't, and then
this is second down.
Then we get a nice play here and create another third down opportunity. And again, that was kind of the story of the day. Could we blow up on third down and make the play and force a punt? And this drive we did. We talked about it. 24-7, they got the ball, but we got it to 24-10. If we get a stop, we can get it to 24-17.
And this is the third down play, and Coy Beasley, great play here.
Yeah. Really good play and good job, good help from Eli Blakey coming out of the high hole to finish it off. But great coverage by Core, being aggressive. There's times we've talked already about we were probably too soft, too much on our heels in coverage. Here's a situation where Corey's not. He's down there being aggressive and making earn, and he makes a huge stop for us.
First drive of the second half, they begin at their own 16 for the RedHawks and immediately go big.
Yeah, really good job. Same thing as the other one. Good play action. Try to take advantage. We knew, they made some adjustments in their coverage, and then we made some adjustments. This isn't even a play. This is good for our offense. It's a play we didn't run all week again out of this formation. We put it in at halftime based on something that Rutgers is doing. And a week ago against Wisconsin, I wasn't really ready to put anything at halftime because we couldn't execute what we had in. Now we make a halftime adjustment. We come out, we get a huge chunk play right away.
First and 10 at the 15, and this is Kenny Tracy.
Yeah, again, good push, good error. You're talking about a big physical Big Ten defense, and our offensive line, again, when they played with pads and technique and footwork, we moved the Rutgers D line. When they didn't, we got dented ourselves. But really good push up front, really good run by Kenny. First
and goal from the 5, and it is DeQuan Finn. Athletic play.
Yeah, and incredible effort. Not only just showing how fast he is outrunning two Rutgers guys, and one of them is one of their DBs, but then the effort to reach out and get the ball to the pylon and sell out his body for his teammates. And again, like I talk to young guys, like, this is how you react when you don't have success. Like, these are the next two drives after he throws an interception. It didn't faze him one iota. It wasn't his first mistake he's had. So really, really good job by him and getting the ball in the end zone.
Rutgers on the move in the red zone. They go for it on 4th and 1, and that's at Devin Bell and Adam Trick stepping up to get the ball back for Miami.
Yeah, huge stop right there. Huge stop right there, and we're still down 2 scores in the fourth quarter with a chance to win the game. But great job by our defense on fourth and less than a yard.
Miami would take over the ball at their 24-yard line and get things moving. On 3rd and 10, another big play here is DeQuan throws over the middle. Great timing. And you're going to look at this window and say, how did Keith Reynolds catch this ball? But just great timing on this throw.
Yeah, and really good protection. And again, we had good protection all day. So now you see the second time you've seen any of these highlights, like DeQuan stepping up in the pocket. Yes, he steps up. Then he makes a really good throw, and Keith makes a really good catch.
Great catch there. 1st and 10. From the 37-yard line coming up.
Yeah, great concentration there by Keith, obviously.
Defender standing between him and the ball, and he still looks it in. Finn with the play action fake to the right side. They'll pick up 9 on this play, but unfortunately wouldn't pick up the first down, and that would be as far as Miami would go. And they would get to the 49-yard line on a later drive, but Rutgers would score 2 more times and get out to that 45-17 victory. And again, a firm believer, at least I am, that this game was much closer than the final score would indicate. But again, credit to Rutgers for their execution of their offense. And you said it's what they've been doing. You talked last week about their nasty offensive line, and certainly they were that. We sacked the quarterback 3 times, but other than that, not really any pressure on their quarterback. And that's something that is going to help them in the Big Ten, I think. I don't think they're going to win the Big Ten by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly the way they executed the offense, their coach Shiano had to be really happy.
Yeah, no, and that's what they showed on tape a year ago. That's what they showed on tape the first couple weeks this year. Methodical, run the ball, throw the ball around, stay ahead of the chains. They do a great job of it, and unfortunately, we kept them far enough behind the chains to have third mediums and third and longs at times, and their execution on third down is really the story, and that's a difference. Again, the first drive, 3rd and 13, we hold them to a field goal, but they get a touchdown, and our coverage was out of kilter, and we don't execute what we're trying to do, and we give up an easy score, and that was kind of a precursor, and again, talk about halftime, we got the one stop to start the third. I'm like, here we go, we're going to get stops, and we know we can move in the score. So, but again, like you said, I like our kids' effort. I love our group. We're young. We're hungry. We want it. We're not intentionally not being consistent. Now, how quickly can we learn these lessons and keep – we practice, had a good week of practice. We're going to continue to practice right away. We're going to continue to have great energy, and we're going to be a better football team against UNLV. That's a daunting task, but we're going to play better football that week. I know we will. Yeah,
indeed. And again, Miami will have 2 weeks off. I have just been told that the UNLV game is at noon on Saturday the 20th. It'll be televised on national TV by ESPNU. And, of course, Terry and I will be there to have the action for you beginning at 11 a.m. on our E&H Ace Hardware tailgate show, and have the play-by-play at noon for you. We'll come back and talk with Coach Martin about the next 2 weeks of prep for UNLV when we return here on RedHawk Football Weekly. And welcome back. Our final segment of RedHawk Football Weekly for this week. Steve Baker here, the voice of the RedHawks, along with head coach Chuck Martin, as Miami will take on UNLV 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks from now, September 20th at 12 noon at Yager Stadium. And again, it's celebrating Champions Week and also Miami Football Alumni Weekend as well. And Coach, 2 weeks to prepare, as does UNLV. They have a bye week as well. And I'm not sure how we came out of the Rutgers game injury-wise. I know I saw several guys kind of limping around, but how did we come out?
We're in decent shape, and again, obviously the bye week, you're going to be in better shape. You're going to feel pretty good going into UNLV for sure.
You know, we talked last week because you had an extra couple of days after playing Wisconsin on Thursday night to take a deep dive, if you will, into the Wisconsin game and learn the lessons from there. I would imagine having a couple of weeks will give you a chance to do that again, as well as maybe get a little rest and get prepared for the Runnin' Rebels.
Yeah, the biggest thing is extra practice time now, and we'll certainly give them enough time off this week because we don't have a game week, but we're going to still practice. And like everybody around the year, it's not just Miami football. Fundamentals, discipline. Fundamentals of your position, technique at your position, everything from your top of your head, your eyes, all the way down to your toes, from your alignments, everything. So alignment, assignment, technique on both sides of the ball. We're going to harp on that big time this week. Yeah, we're going to start working on UNLV a little bit this week, but we're going to use this week to try to clean up a lot of the fundamental mistakes that we made the first 2 weeks on both sides of the ball in ST, and then obviously have some extra prep time, and then we'll also use it to get on the road recruiting. You get X amount of recruiting days during the season, so we'll have people on the road Thursday and Friday and other people on the road on Friday. Then we'll be seeing a bunch of games this weekend, so we'll use the bye week to get some extra recruiting work in also.
Let's talk a little bit about UNLV. I'm sure that you've watched them on film. They took care of UCLA this past week and had no problems, and they are 3-0 at this point in the season. They put points on the board. Really talented offense, and as you mentioned, more 4- and 5-star high school recruits than either of the last two teams combined.
Yeah, no, they got a twitchy, athletic, big, strong, physical plays, and they play really hard and they play really fast on both sides of the ball. Obviously, they got a transfer quarterback from Virginia who started 2 years there and played a ton of college football, and he's a dual threat. He can make every throw, he can run and hurt you. He had some huge runs against UCLA, but he's been throwing the ball. I think he was 15 for 18 the first half for 2 or 3 touchdowns against UCLA. They had a ton of receivers, running backs, big athletic offense line. They are really good on offense, and they are explosive. They're a different style than the Rutgers kind of just methodically play, score quickly.
Yeah.
They score quickly from run, they score quickly from pass. So it'll be a completely different challenge schematically for us. And then just the overall athleticism we'll know early how fast they play. And then same thing defensively. Different style of defense, but they are very aggressive and they pressure. They play a ton of man. They have tons of DBs that can run and cover and are all over you. You're going to really have to fight to create any air in the pass game, and then you have to do a great job in the run game blocking because they're big and physical at the first 2 levels, linebacker and D-line, and then they get after the quarterback and they pressure a lot. So it'll be a different, overwhelming athleticism group than we've seen. There's a reason they're 3-0. There's a reason they just beat UCLA, who's 500 in the Big Ten a year ago, and UCLA we know has talent, and they have like top quarterback in the country. They got after him, and he did not look good at all in the first half. UCLA got some things going late, but they were all over the kid that transferred from Tennessee and made his life miserable. Like, didn't give much of a chance. So it'll be, again, we're really excited to be coming home. We love it. I think somebody said today we're 26-5 in our last 31 home games, so it makes a difference playing at home. It makes a huge difference. And then we haven't been home yet. It'll be week 4. And then we already have great sales of tickets already. We should have a great crowd. We got championships. We're celebrating all the championships from a year ago. And then we also have football alumni weekend. So it's going to be a huge weekend, and we can wait because we need the 2 weeks of practice. But we're really excited that we got these 2 weeks and that we've got a home game and against a great opponent coming in, and we'll be excited to go play UNLV.
Yeah, just looking at the schedule, and I know we've talked about it before. It'll be the best G5 matchup of the entire weekend between Miami and UNLV. And again, nationally televised on ESPNU. It'll be at 12 noon Saturday, September 20th. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, I would advise you to get a hold of MiamiRedHawks.com or go to the Miami Athletic Ticket Office in Millett Hall and get your tickets for Saturday, September 20th. As always, Coach, pleasure talking with you, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Chuck Martin joining us. For head coach Chuck Martin, I'm Steve Baker. Thanks for watching Miami and the RedHawks Football Weekly.